Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer and Ron Miller.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report, part of the Evergreen Podcast Network. This is show number 312.
First one of 2024.
It is, yeah. Had to get rid of the thing so we were hidden behind the image there.
Oh, no.
Yeah, show number 312 for Thursday, January 4th, 2024. Scott Hammer, Ron Miller coming at you live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter from the John Young Racing for First Responders, Dave Kemmer studio. Tonight on the show, we'll be talking to a couple of the Sandusky Speedway Hangover Race winners. Some pretty exciting racing action.
It was a fun day.
Very fun day. Brad Eitniear, Lonnie York will be joining us. And then we have...
It's a great day, especially if you like running second, Scott.
Yeah, we're a couple of bridesmaids here, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Major announcement coming up a little bit later in the show about a new event, or an event. I'm not sure new, but it's an event.
It's a reconfigured event.
It's an event.
Yeah.
It's new. It's never happened before.
And it's in 2024.
It is.
It meets all the qualification. It's new.
So we'll even have a surprise guest come on to help us make that announcement a little bit later on in the show tonight.
Okay.
Got to mention that we're charting again over the past 2 weeks on Apple Podcasts.
Really?
So that's pretty cool. Yeah, we peaked at number 61 in Canada and 151 in the U.S. And since we switched to Evergreen Podcast Network in November,
right?
I think India is like fourth now as far as where most of our listeners come from.
Right.
U.S., Australia, Canada, and India. India used to be pretty high up there, but I'm pretty sure it was all bots, fake things. Not real listeners, but...
well, it could have been.
Yeah. A lot to cover as we were off the past couple of weeks. Hope everybody had good holidays, good Happy New Year and all that fun stuff. Now it's back to the regular grind. Get through the winter and some more racing.
In our part of the world, they're talking with that S word this weekend.
Yeah.
Snow.
Yeah. There is we haven't talked about this, but it's later in the month. The Whiteout 100's back.
Right.
At Mid-Michigan Raceway Park.
Right.
January 29th, I think it is.
Yeah.
Sometime at the end of the month. We'll talk more about that closer.
When we get close.
Yeah. Got to mention DCR Graphics, your vinyl racing graphics provider. DCR does full wraps, partial wraps, number decals, sponsor decals, decals of just about any kind. They also specialize in banners, die-cast, and T-shirt designs. DCR can work with you to create any kind of design that you need. DCR Graphics is locally owned and operated. Call or text Dale at DCR Graphics at 419-308-9523. If you missed that number, it'll be scrolling at the bottom of the screen if you're watching us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter Live. You can check out DCR Graphics at facebook.com/DCR Graphics. You can also order your official Hammer Down Racing Report window stickers from DCR Graphics, which happen to look a little bit like that. Stick one of those on your car, and
you can be part of the Hammer Down Racing Report Army.
There you go, and we'll report on your finishing results for this upcoming season.
I wonder if we should have officers in that army. Maybe we could have captains.
Lieutenants and lieutenants.
Yeah.
We'll
Privates.
We'll work on
that. There we go.
If you you can get those stickers for $5. Just contact Dale there at DCR Graphics. He'll mail it to you, bring it to the track, whatever. And if you do stick one on your car, send us a picture to let us know, and we'll add you to the army. Just that easy. Speaking of those, if you would like to win a Hammer Down Racing Report decal, we have the special decals we're going to be giving away tonight. Let's bang my headphone on the microphone. We're giving away one of these to a lucky winner tonight. Hashtag DCR. Just put that in the comments of the Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and I believe I saw something that our Twitter viewers...
right.
The comments are supposed to be coming through so we can see them as well on here.
Oh, cool.
So I don't know if it works on Twitter as of yet, but there was that little...
glitch.
Not a glitch, but the little thing that you can take advantage of.
A cheat.
Yes, a cheat. Because if you put hashtag DCR in more than once on Facebook, you're only entered once. But I do believe if you go over to YouTube... put hashtag DCR over there, and you do it on Facebook, then you're going to have 2 entries.
If you're really into cheating.
It's not really cheating.
It's
just
creative.
It's working the system, I do believe. But anyway.
Exploring the gray areas.
We'll do that.
As racers, we do that all the time, Scott.
It's not in the rule book, so
Right.
therefore, there you go. We'll do that drawing later on in the show. Also got to mention Dominator Race Products back with us for 2024.
Good on them.
Yes, they have what you need to be in the winner's circle. Dominator with over 30 years of experience to put you out front. Hoods, fillers, doors, quarters. Check out their composite ultimate body panels and more. Dominator ultimate body panels now legal to use in IMCA modified, sport mod, stars, mod lights, and late model classes. Order direct, DominatorRaceProducts.com, or you can call 419-923-6970. Dominator Race Products are also available from your local reputable race shops.
I wonder if our good friends at Dominator Race Products can ship to Australia, because our listener base is expanding there. So
I'll ask Bentley. I was just talking to him today. Also got to mention Ron Miller Race Cars, Freeze Frame Photos, and Oakshade Raceway, sponsors of the show tonight. I see at least one person's trying to work the system there. We got
all right.
The hashtag DCR on YouTube.
Perfect.
Yeah. Let's go over some racing results here before we bring on Lonnie York, our first guest tonight. Lots to cover here for the past couple weeks.
You wouldn't think that late December, early January, there'd be a lot of racing.
But we'll find out.
Racing Roundup.
Of course, Sandusky Speedway action locally here. One of the few things going on.
And it was a fun day.
Monday, New Year's Day, 34 cars. Speaking of which, or 34, not 34 cars, but 34 vehicles entered.
Enters.
Totally among the 4 classes.
Right.
Some of them were double between a couple of the classes.
And that's okay.
So, you may remember 2 weeks ago, that was our how many question. We did have a tie. Nobody guessed 34.
That's so long ago.
Yeah, nobody guessed 34, but we did have a high and a low just on either side of that. So we'll be spinning the Big D's Pizza Wheel for that Big D's Pizza a little bit later on. And we'll also have another chance for you to win a Big D's Pizza. Sandusky Speedway, Brad Eitniear picking up the Champagne Stock feature win, and we'll be talking to him a little bit later on. Lonnie York, the winner there in the Moonshine Stocks. Joey Wyckoff, Whiskey Stock winner, and Jason Hilton in the newly added Rum Runner class, which was the All-American Iron class.
Right.
Kind of a fun little show they put on.
It was a fun class to watch.
It was more fun watching Chris Mize yell at them to get lined up. Rumble in Fort Wayne at the Allen County War Memorial Expo Center was taking place this past weekend. Friday, Ryan Flores was your midget winner. Former guest John Ivey, your non-winged 600cc micro winner. Another former guest, Cap Henry, picked up the win in the winged 600cc micro sprints. Then Saturday, Joe Liguri, winner in the midgets. Nate Franklin in the winged 600cc micro sprints. Dylan Nussbaum, another name we've heard quite a lot recently. In the non-winged 600 micro sprints, Spencer Smolder, winner in the senior champ karts. Alex Smolder, winner in the clone karts, clone 360 karts there. The John Limbacher Memorial 2000 to win.
Did you ever make it over to that race?
I have not.
They used to run full-blown midgets in there, too, which was, they used to do that in the Toledo Sports Arena, too. So.
Did they really?
Oh, yes.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Did that fit?
Yeah, the fumes were pretty intense. But
that'd be like trying to run them in here. It's not that big.
Yeah, our studio might be bigger.
39th Tulsa Shootout took place. Emerson Axum picking up the win in the Winged Outlaws. Blake Hahn, the non-wing outlaw winner. Wyatt Miller, restricted A-class winner. Ashton Torgerson. You remember that name? He was the guy that fell out of
fell out of the car
at the Chili Bowl Nationals last year. He got himself a win there in the winged A class, and Frank Flood, the stock non-winged winner. Braxton Flatt, junior sprint winner. So Chili Bowl Nationals up next down in Tulsa. That starts next week.
Practice starts Sunday.
Is it Sunday? I thought it was Monday.
No.
Okay, maybe it's racing. It starts Monday then.
Yeah, practice starts Sunday.
Moving over to the other side of the world, I don't even know how to pronounce this one, Waikaraka Speedway. It's in New Zealand.
Okay.
Boxing Day racing going on there. Buddy Kofoid, another former guest of the show, picking up the win in the midgets. He was originally disqualified for coming up too light at the scales.
But then they requalified?
And then they awarded the win to Michael Pickens, but Buddy Kofoid appealed and won his appeal due to an issue with the scales and was declared the winner the following day.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know what the issue with the scales was. I don't know. Maybe they don't use pounds or what metric system there? It's kilograms?
Oh, they do. Yeah, it would have definitely been kilograms.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe the conversion was wrong. I don't know. Clay Per View Speed Week at Murray Bridge Speedway on Tuesday, Boxing Day as well, the 26th of December. Jack Goodyear was the winner in the sprints. Wednesday, the next day, the 27th, Jack Goodyear got another win in the sprints. He's the defending Australian sprint car title winner. Aaron Reitzel finished second then on Wednesday at Murray Bridge.
It's good to see the Aussies standing up strong against the Americans.
More Australian action. Perth Motorplex was in action on the day after Christmas as well. Kai Blight picking up the Pro Dirt Late Model Series win there.
One of our former guests.
Another former guest. Rico Abreu picking up the win in the sprints. It was the USA versus Western Australia. Thursday at Perth Motorplex, it was Brad Sweet picking up the win in the USA versus Western Australia deal they have going on there. Where's the Australian guys? What's going on? And I guess he only arrived just a few hours before that event took place. Speaking of the Australian guys, Callum Williamson picking up the win on Tuesday, the 2nd of January.
Right.
There at Perth Motorplex in the sprints. And Brent Fosberg in late model winner there, second round of the Wild West Shootout.
And Brent has been in attendance at our local racetrack at Oak Shade
He's
Raceway.
raced everywhere, yeah.
Yeah.
Gladstone Speedway also in Australia. Friday, the 29th of December, it was Devin Moran picking up a win in the late models. A lot of guys going down where it's warm over the holidays.
Now, was that a late model or was that
late model? He's running a late model.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I thought he was in a super sedan.
I saw a picture. It looks an awful lot like a late model.
Okay, and it could be. I thought it was in a super sedan, which is similar kind of, but the driver sits on the other side. They go the same way we do, so the driver is sitting right next to the wall.
I wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
Esperance Speedway in Australia on the 30th of December, which was this past Saturday. Zane Humphreys picking up the win in the street stock class. Josh Stewart, winner in the production sedans. Brett South, winner in the Formula 500s. Dylan Williams, AMCA winner. And Matt Robbins picking up the win in the late models. Avalon Speedway, also on Saturday, December 30th. Carson Macedo picking up a win in the Southern Sprint Car Series action.
Right.
Down there at Premier Speedway, or at Avalon Speedway, in Australia. Speaking of Premier Speedway, January 1st, Jamie Veal picking up the win in the sprint class. Jack Goodyear picking up the Clay Per View Sprint Car Speed Week championship.
We've been hearing a lot about him lately.
Yeah, with his 2 wins earlier. Tyler O'Leary picking up the win in the wingless sprints. Bunbury Speedway, third round of Western Australia Speed Week on January 1st. It was Rico Abreu picking up the win. Kai Blight in the late models picking up the win. That was
both of those guys have been on fire down there.
Yeah. And finally, Murray Bridge again, just last night, Nick Parker picking up round 1 of the Pro Speed Car Week down under.
Speed cars are our equivalent of midgets.
Okay. Thank you. I knew you'd remind me because I forgot what that was. Speed cars, crazy Australian stuff. That's awesome, though. A lot of stuff going down now. Isn't when's the late model USA versus Australia?
I think
starting now.
I think that's going to be on the Wild West Shootout,
which just started.
Right.
Okay, gotcha. And, that's your racing roundup for this past weekend. I got to mention Freeze Frame Photos. Give them a call for all your racing photo needs, from action shots to victory lane. He's got all the pictures from this past season. If you want to get some custom items, magnets, canned koozies, tumblers. Give him a call.
Calendars.
He can still do the 2024 calendars. You get to pick all the pictures for each month. Give Charlie a call, 419-476-9978. Maybe you need something
I don't know if I told you, I got one of those calendars for Christmas.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and I love it.
What's on it? Is it you?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't race this past year, though.
Oh, this goes back.
So it's a historical kind of thing.
Yeah.
I want to see this.
Okay, I'll bring it in next week.
Awesome. So, yeah, you can make a custom calendar, whatever, all kinds of cool stuff. But maybe you need something to kind of shop around to potential sponsors. Say, hey, I can get you on something like this. Check this out. Call Charlie, 419-476-9978.
I'll bet a calendar would be something to give to a sponsor because they'd look at it every day for a year.
There you go. Freeze frame photos, special moments, frozen in time. And don't forget to check out Ron Miller Race Cars, 734-856-7223 for race cars, parts, safety equipment, service, whatever. Anything you pretty much build a race car, fix a race car, or truck.
Fremont trucks. Boy, I'm telling you, we've been working hard on those.
And those have a history of getting some wins, too.
Yeah, got another, an older truck coming in for some updates, so we do that, too.
All right, let's get to our first guest here. Lonnie,
okay.
Lonnie York's been waiting patiently here as we've been blabbing away. Lonnie, congratulations, man. Somehow we got you muted. Let me unmute yourself.
Now can you hear me?
Now we got you.
Sorry about that.
That's
okay.
All right. Congratulations on picking up the Moonshine Stock win.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Far and away the most exciting race of the day.
Yeah, that was a good one between us.
Yeah, that's what everybody says, but when you finish second, it's like, it wasn't that good.
From where you were sitting, you couldn't see all the excitement. Have you had the chance to see any videos of that race?
Yeah, I seen the videos of it. Yeah, I had a good lead for that one caution come out, but then after that, when Scott caught up to me, he would give me a good run. All I would see was a tire up in my window. I'm not used to that. I'm an asphalt guy, not dirt.
Well, that probably
window.
I'm guessing 4 tires probably would have helped me turn a little better, getting off the corners there. But anyway, so what made you decide to run this year's Hangover Race, and have you run it before?
Oh yeah, I've been going there on and off for 20 years. Run there. Me and a lot of friends went back, way back, long time.
Is this the first time you picked up a win there?
Yep, I've got a few heat race wins there, but first time I ever picked up a feature win. Yep.
Nice. So
60 degrees. I've been there in a foot of snow.
Yes, sir.
Everything.
We've got a lot in common there.
Which do you prefer it the 60 degrees, or do you prefer the snow?
No, I like the 60 degrees. I'm getting too old for that cold weather anymore.
Well, there's something else we got in common.
So how does Sandusky compare to your home track of Flat Rock?
Yeah, we're just a little bouldering there. Sandusky, long straightaway, tight corners. Nice. I mean, it was pretty dry out there. I mean, it was good. A few slick spots, but it was pretty good.
So what do you need to do to prepare your car differently for that race then?
To be honest, I'd like to tell you, I worked my butt off on it. I did this, I did that. All I did was I put on some dirt tires and loosened up the sway bar a little bit. That's all I did, honestly. So I'd like to give you a big story about how hard I worked on the car to go win the feature and the heat race and everything else, but I just found some dirt tires and I put them on there, and they worked.
Yeah, they got the job done. You definitely were protecting the inside coming off the corners. You were running way down at the bottom coming off of there. I was like, how the hell's he even doing that?
Well, I see you driving on the outside. I don't want to tell you my secrets or anything, but I'm going a little bit high, just like a half through where you'd have to drive it out there, and I cut to the bottom and take off, and that's where I could pull you on.
And it definitely worked for you there. How does it feel to beat second through third? I think we're all dirt track regulars. So
right.
How's that make you feel?
Oh, that was good. I was proud to win that race. No matter how many, it's the first race of the year. We have a way to start the season off, right?
Yeah. Now, how did your season go in 23 at Flat Rock?
Not bad. I think I finished 7th in points, the A main points. So I did some good finishes in the 100-lapper race and the 50-lapper, so I can't complain about that.
We've talked to a couple of Flat Rock guys. What are your thoughts on the repaving? Is it going to be a good thing?
Oh, yeah, it's always nice when they repave it. Can't wait to see what, hopefully we get some of the grip back, where we don't have to buy new tires every 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
How are those dirt tires you were using? Is there anything left on those?
No, those 3 of them are good. I guess I'm not familiar with the dirt tires, but I guess it was a G30 or something like that was on the right front. That's why I won the heat race. I finished second in the Moonshine heat race, and come to feature, that right front tire was as bald as could be. And the Moonshine feature come around.
So you were running a slick.
Pretty much, yeah.
So what was your strategy going into that feature event then?
I just wanted to get out ahead of them dirt cars, not let them get me on the start. Give me a little lead. I knew I had a lead. I didn't hear nobody out there. I didn't know how big a one it was until the caution come out. I think Ron Mallory, he blew up over there in turns 3 and 4.
Yeah.
That's when the only caution we had. Other than that, it was green all the way.
Right.
So are you going to be back to defend the Moonshine Hangover Race title next year?
Oh, absolutely. Yep. I'll be back. Of course, you got to go back.
Even if it's 20 degrees and a foot of snow?
Yeah. I'm sure I'll be there. Yeah. I'm sure.
What about any of your other Flat Rock friends? You bringing any more of those guys down?
I'm sure. My brother-in-law, Ian, he goes with me every year. He drives the 00.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I know him from Toledo, running factory stock and stuff, and he ain't went in the last couple of years, but I talked him into coming out this year, so he come back out this year.
Well, he double entered, didn't he? Didn't he?
Ran both classes.
He ran both classes. Yeah.
Oh, so did Lonnie. You ran the Champagne Stock as well, didn't you?
Yep.
Where'd you end up finishing in that one?
I was 7th in the feature and 2nd in the heat race.
Gotcha. My car beat you, I think, in that race, but that was a different driver and he had different tires on.
Well, you guys were gone in the Champagne feature.
Yeah. So, what are your plans then for your regular racing season at Flat Rock? Gonna run a full season there in the street stocks?
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. You know what I mean? So I always say no, but I end up there every week. So I'm not gonna, but I always end up there. I figure if I'm gonna go, I might as well take a car.
So, how close whereabouts do you live? Is it right around Flat Rock then?
Yeah, Flat Rock's my home track. I'm like 30 minutes away. I'm like by Metro Airport in Romulus. So
Okay.
Okay.
I can get to Flat Rock in like 25 minutes, and I can get to Toledo in like 50 minutes. So.
And Sandusky's just a little bit further for you then.
Yeah, just a little bit, but not bad.
Well, definitely well worth the drive, at least for this year.
Yeah, sure was.
Again, it was a great race to watch.
Yeah.
Glad I had that opportunity.
I had a better seat for it.
You can watch all the comments on Facebook and stuff. Everybody says it was the best race of the night.
Absolutely.
That's what Chris made me stop on the front stretch right after the race, and I thought he was going to yell at me for something. He was like, "That was one of the best damn races I've seen at the Hangover Race."
Yeah, that's what he told me too. Yeah.
Awesome. Any sponsors or anybody you want to thank for helping you out?
Well, I got to thank my girlfriend Stephanie. She's always there with me. I got to thank Martin's Tire. Suburban, calcium chloride. They all help me out. Every little bit helps.
Absolutely. Well, don't forget to change the dirt tires back to asphalt before the opener there at Flat Rock.
I won't, believe me, I won't.
Yeah, Mr. Frenzel would probably come unglued with that.
Maybe.
Yeah. Jack kind of laid back. It's the other one that gives you the trouble.
Mr. Smith?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I feel so left out of this one.
Get in the loop, Scott. Do your homework.
Well, Lonnie, once again, congratulations, and we appreciate you giving us some time here this evening.
All right, Scott. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
We'll see you next year. We'll see. I got to try something different to beat you next year then.
Maybe you ought to put pavement tires on, Scott.
Maybe.
All right. Wheels on the ground.
Yeah, I got to get that wheel on the ground.
That'll help.
All right. Thanks, Lonnie.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks,
we'll see you.
Bye-bye.
There you go. Lonnie York, the Moonshine Stock winner. And before we bring in Brad Eitniear, the Champagne Stock winner, got to mention Oakshade Raceway, where the fastest meet to race every Saturday night during race season. The UMP Dirt Car Summer Nationals coming back once again. What is this, like the 25th time, 24th time?
A lot.
Yeah, it's been at least since 2000, maybe 99. Actually, if you look at oakshaderaceway.com, I think it's got the history of the winners there, and you can probably figure it out. Yeah. July 13th at Oakshade Raceway, Summer Nationals, the penultimate event, the night before the very last night, which will be the following day at Sunday night. But July 13th, mark your calendars for that at Oakshade Raceway. You can check out oakshaderaceway.com. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. And as soon as that schedule comes out, we will let you know about it, and it'll be posted at oakshaderaceway.com. So keep checking that out. And things kind of will trickle in. You know, well, now we'll talk about that later. Let's bring Brad in here. Brad, how's it going?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Not too bad. Congratulations on the win on January 1st there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. We had a lot of fun. It's a very interesting race.
Was that your first time running a sideboard?
That was my first time running a sideboard and my first time running the Hangover Race.
Really? So what?
Well, I didn't think I'd seen you there before. I know you've been racing a while, and sideboard races have been around a long time. I thought maybe you had one.
Nope. That was the first time that we've got the pleasure to do it, and it's actually a lot more fun than what I figured it would be. And I recommend everybody go out, at least try it, and go have some fun once.
Yeah.
It's a really good time.
One thing, I shared some setup stuff with them. One thing I didn't.
Is that why he beat you? Yes. Okay.
One thing I didn't tell him is that the wind there tends to favor one end or the other of the racetrack. And I don't know if you felt that, but depending on which way the breezes are coming off the lake, one end of the track can be much, much faster than the other.
Yeah, it definitely seemed that way. It was pretty windy that day, but it was all a different feel for me, to be honest with you. So I was learning the whole day.
Could you tell a big difference with the sideboard compared to running without one?
It's hard to say because the change just from dirt to asphalt I was trying to get used to, and then adding the board on as well, it was quite a bit of a change.
Is this the first time you've run on asphalt then?
We ran the DeVos place on concrete, so asphalt, that'd be the first time.
Okay. I did not realize that. So how did
that was the one up in Lansing?
Yes.
The DeVos Center?
Yep.
So how did the ride with the Robertson P3 come about for the hangover race?
He had it over here, and we were doing some repairs and updates to it, and he stopped over about halfway through the process and said, if you can get it done, let's go over to the Hangover Race and have some fun. So
what was your reaction to that?
I've always wanted to do it. It always seems like the cars are either being torn apart or getting put back together at that particular time, and everything fell into place this year.
So what kind of expectations did you have going into that race, if any?
Just to go have fun.
Awesome. Did you have a feeling you could beat Ron at all, or?
Well, honestly, we didn't think Ron was racing at first, so we thought that we had a pretty good shot. And then he let the cat out of the bag to Jeff Robertson, and then we got a little worried and thought we better do some more homework.
Yeah.
Is that when he shared the setup information?
Jeff sent me actually he called and we talked a little bit, and yeah, I got nothing to hide, you know.
And we appreciate all the help. We had a really good driving car and a fun time.
Like Brad, you know, it's a fun race. You're certainly not there for the big money, and it's something different.
So you had a little bit of a setback there in the heat race, which I'm guessing wasn't too fun. What happened there?
Yeah, just the start of the race, I think the guy on the inside of me got a little tight on takeoff, and we kind of locked up, and it put a hole in the tire, and we just move on from it, and like I said, enjoy the day. We were there to have fun.
So that didn't change the way you approached the feature then?
No, not at all. No, we just Actually, we were kind of shocked at the short turnaround. They don't have like an intermission, or so by the time we got back to the pits, they were rolling up the first feature, and we were like, "Oh, we got to go."
So what all did you have to replace or fix to get ready for the feature? And then you had to start a little bit further. You had to actually work your way to the front.
Yeah, we had to replace both left side tires, rebrace the door, rebrace the quarter panel. That was about it, and then the rest, just get it back to where it wasn't flopping in the breeze. And then I think we started sixth in the feature.
Sounded like kind of a normal night on a dirt track.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Except you have a intermission and it's a little warmer, and yeah. So I mean, and then once the drop of the green flag, you were pretty much gone. What made you so dominant in that feature?
I don't know. The car was really good. Everything that Ron told us to do worked. And then we applied. I watched YouTube and watched Ron run around there and kind of seen how the cars worked on the asphalt versus the dirt. And, we made a couple changes of our own, and we followed Ron there for a couple laps and learned what we needed to do. And then
I shut the door on. I shut the door on him once.
Yeah. Ron showed me the outside. You can stick on the outside there, and once I learned that, I actually end up, I think, getting Ron on the outside once he showed me it worked.
You did. No, I got to be honest. The '95 car and I were not really good friends, but at that point we had 3 cars and one running engine, and that engine happened to be in the '95 car. So,
So you were driving Lightning McSteve.
Yes, I was.
Okay. Well, and
but it was still a good time.
You did have some problems though at the end. You lost your brakes and
totally. I have no idea how it happened. There was no brake pedal at all.
So if you had brakes those final few laps, would you have caught Brad?
Hell no.
Okay.
He was in a different time zone.
Did you know how big of a lead you had?
I had no clue. Actually, we got done and we loaded the car up, and it looked like I had about maybe 5 laps left on my right front before it was going to blow out.
Wow.
So we recorded on the right front.
Chris Mize, if you're listening, 5 more laps next year.
Yeah.
He's laughing. Oh boy. So, do you have plans for this season on the dirt? Or are you going to go back asphalt racing? Maybe this is a new thing for you.
No, I think once a year is enough on asphalt.
Okay.
Now, how about the sideboard? Any thoughts of catching some of the big paying Michigan sideboard races?
That would be fun. To do. It takes more testing and everything, but it's definitely a different element.
I can give you some setup info on those too.
Yeah.
More stagger, lots more stagger.
Doesn't that car that you're selling come with a sideboard?
Yeah.
Do you need a race car?
No, I got plenty.
Okay, that's what I thought, but what's one more? I mean,
right.
So, I mean, do you have any plans then to do any regular racing this year, or?
We're just kind of waiting right now. I'm kind of excited to see that the American Late Model Series is supposed to fire back up. Excited
Spoiler,
to see what that brings.
Since you brought that up, I'm going to bring this up. We're going to have Sam Driggers on the show next week to talk about that.
Oh, buddy.
The return of the American Late Model. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And just kind of hit and miss with the steel block stuff maybe. We got a couple options to run a couple other things. Just kind of waiting to see where the schedules come together and then what our options are from there.
Brad, one of our listeners wants to know what you think about the closing rate on some of the other cars.
It's surprising that some of them come up on them pretty fast. But then again, I guess, you run into that in every class, I guess, at certain times, but
yeah.
There, it's definitely different because the asphalt, the cars react so much quicker. You have to be so much more steady on the wheel on the asphalt.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
You got to make a conscious effort to slow your hands down.
Very much so. Yeah, we put the biggest steering wheel on we could find and moved it as little as possible.
Yep.
I had to use a different steering wheel. I think I was using a sprint car steering wheel so that Craig could fit in my car.
Yeah.
because it was flatter, so it gave a little bit more room, a little more clearance.
He and Craig are different size.
I had to get used to that.
Um,
That's my excuse.
Yeah. Scott's steering wheel was rubbing on Craig's belly, so we tried flipping it over so it was a reverse dish, and that didn't work. And they found a sprint car wheel that was flat and worked just fine.
Can't drive it like a sprint car, though.
No.
Was David Ellis was in your heat race, wasn't he? And I believe he beat you
Yes.
without a sideboard.
Yeah.
He was pretty fast.
That goes back to me saying that me and the 95 car weren't exactly friends.
Actually, Dave, he ran a heck of a race. We timed him, and he was in the heat races to our hot laps. He was only like a tenth of a second off of us.
Right.
So I mean, he did a really good job for his
No,
first time on
I
that.
got to watch a video of your car because live time I couldn't see you.
Why? Because he was on the other side of the track?
Yes. But the video showed that you'd kind of scotch the car sideways a little bit in the turn to get it to rotate, and that's where the board really, really shines. So, yeah, you did really well with that.
Yeah, it definitely is. That wind catch is kind of amazing where you expect it to keep kind of skate, and it really stops it and turns it right on for you.
Now, you ought to try it in the snow. That's really fun.
Yeah.
Because you can really, really use the board then.
I was glad it wasn't snowing, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
Just getting over a cold, and I wasn't sure if we were going to go for sure, and we made sure we had heaters and everything else.
Now, when you were in the car, did you even feel the cold?
No, not too bad. Probably the most shock I got, I think, was going down the front stretch, and we took a couple snowballs, and I really wasn't expecting that. So for my first time there, that was an eye opener.
Yeah, there's those the guys that bring the cooler of snowballs when there's no snow here. So.
Well, the sideboard gives them a big target. They bounce it off the board, and then it snows on you. Yeah.
Yep.
Did you get hit, Ron?
Huh?
Did you get hit? It looked like some came close to you. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, that makes it more fun. But any sponsors or anybody else you need to thank?
I definitely need to thank my wife and my daughter for letting me go. They were homesick and they couldn't come along. Jeff Robertson, the entire Robertson family racing for giving me the opportunity to run their car. Ron, I want to thank you for, giving us some advice and making us look so we didn't go out there and look like a monkey trying to run around there,
Won't happen again.
Yeah. But no, we really enjoyed it. We went out, set out to have fun, and it's a really fun race. And like I said, if people haven't done it and you're racing for fun, I think this is one of the things you really need to go do.
Yep.
Definitely. I definitely enjoy it.
That's why we've been there for like 22, 23 years.
I haven't been there that long, but try it with a sprint car wing. That's what Dave Gumby Jr. says.
Yeah.
Well, Craig had one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, his car didn't work. But do you think Jeff's going to put you back in that car for next year then?
It's hard to say. I think Jeff's down for about anything as long as it involves racing. So it very, very well possibly could happen.
After this year, assuming the weather's kind of okay, they'll probably bring more than one car next year.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, and if the Robertsons decide to drive, then do you have a car that of your own that you could possibly put a sideboard on and bring out?
Oh, I'm sure we can come up with something.
All right. So one way or another, you're going to be there.
Yep.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. Again, congratulations, Brad.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And thanks for giving us a little bit of time here this evening.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Yep.
Thanks, Brad.
See you, Brad.
Yep.
There you go. Brad Eitniear, the winner of the Champagne Stock Hangover Race feature winner.
Right.
That was a fun race. And he, was like about a half a track, I think, over the second place guy. That lowly second place.
Scott?
I'm just saying that 95 car was a little bit. He was the class of the field by far.
You bet.
In that one, so cool.
And David Ellis,
he looked strong there. He got held up behind some lap cars.
No sideboard or anything. Yeah. He looked really good.
He almost got taken out there. Got down low on the front stretch in the grass.
That one got my attention.
That guy, was that when you were getting by him?
Yeah, well,
there was a lap car there
I was
too.
right behind him, and we were coming up on some lap traffic, and he wiggled, and I got outside of him, and Then there were 2 lap cars, and I kind of split them, so I made it.
I mean, even with the wet track and everything, I mean, it wasn't not a lot of carnage, really.
No.
I mean, there was...
It wasn't wet,
no.
but there were weepers.
There was a fun move for the lead in the whiskey stock feature.
Yeah.
Did you see any of that? You
didn't.
might have been. It was they were going into turn 3.
Okay.
The 2 leaders were battling, coming up on a lap car, and one guy tried to get to the inside, tried to make it 3 wide going into turn 3, and they bumped tires. His back end flew up in the air, and he kind of bounced off. He continued on afterwards, but it was fun. Very fun.
That's the one thing that our listener alluded to, that the closing rate is so crazy, the speed difference between some of the cars. And I'm sure you noticed that.
Yeah, probably not quite as dramatic as it was in the champagne stock, but yes. Don't forget, we have that major event announcement coming up here very shortly. We're going to do how many pizza giveaway for Big D's Pizza and hashtag DCR. Get your hashtag DCR. Just type that in the comments of the Facebook Live, YouTube Live, or that's probably it. Well, you can try Twitter. I can't guarantee Twitter's going to work, but right now it looks like you have a 1 in 8 chance of winning that Hammer Down Racing Report DCR graphic sticker. Yeah. So still time to get into that. Let's do a little bit of racing news, and then we'll get to that announcement here in a little bit. Special guest waiting in the wings as well.
Latest racing news.
So Fremont Speedway and Attica Raceway Park are going to be implementing a few rule changes for 2024.
Primarily for the 305 class.
The impact that's going to impact the 305 or the 410s and the 305s,
right?
Sprint divisions at both tracks. For the 410 sprints, the Hoosier D15A and medium tires will be the required right rear, with Hoosier D12A allowed for the left rears. Hoosier front tires allowed are the D12, D15, and D20. Cockpit wing sliders will be allowed for the 305 sprints in 2024. Also, the 305 sprint teams will be allowed to continue to use last year's tire selections through May of 2024, and then they will be required to be on the same tires as the 410 sprints.
I'm not sure if our listeners are aware of the wing slider. The sprint cars have the opportunity, the 410s, using hydraulics to move the wing back and forth, which also changes the angle of attack. So the 305s have always had just a fixed wing, and they don't have that opportunity to make an adjustment during the race. So it's going to be interesting to see if the guys can dial themselves out or make themselves better.
Might be more of a learning process in the 305s then, that they can carry that knowledge over.
And the guys that have run
410s.
410s will...
they'll know what to do then.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Attica Fremont Championship Series 410 Rookie of the Year, Bryce Lucius, was named the North American Sprint Car Pole 410 National Rookie of the Year. Eldora Speedway's General Manager, Jerry Gappens, was named Promoter of the Year. So congratulations to those two. The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame announced the class of 2024. That's this year.
Yeah.
Just in case. Paul McMahon, one of the inductees.
Right.
Tricky Ricky Warner, Gary Deuce Terrell, Roy Robbins. He was the first Knoxville Nationals winner.
Okay.
John Stanbro, Tracy Hines, Bill Holder, who's a media writer, and Mark Bones Bercier, who's also a writer.
Right.
Those are your the 2024 Sprint Car Hall of Fame inductees for this year. Castrol Flow Racing Night in America announced its 2024 schedule with 10 races at 9 tracks in 6 states starting on May 8th. Those tracks include Spoon River, Lincoln Speedway, Farmer City Speedway, Fairbury Speedway, Eldora Speedway, Sonoya Raceway in Georgia. The last race will be November 15th and 16th for the Castrol Flow Racing Night in America.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. Kyle Larson will be back behind the wheel of a dirt late model at Vado Speedway Park. It will host the annual Wild West Shootout coming up January 6th through the 14th. $300,000 is up for grabs if a driver can sweep the week of racing. Larson will also be racing his number 6 car at Golden Isles Speedway with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. That takes place January 25th and 27th. In total, Larson thinks he'll run 15 dirt late model races this year.
Well, that's not very many when you...
If you're another dirt late model driver, that's enough.
Right.
That's plenty. That's plenty, yeah. And then we got some, I saved the sad news for last, the depressing news. Sprint Car Hall of Famer Rick Ferkel from Tiffin, Ohio, died Monday morning. He was 84 years old. One of the original drivers on the World of Outlaws sprint car circuit, became known as the Ohio Traveler during his racing career. Also, Jill DeFerrin, two-time karts champion and 2003 Indianapolis 500 winner, died of a cardiac arrest on Friday while driving a car at the Concours Club, a private track located outside of Miami, Florida. He was 56 years old.
Yeah, I missed that one.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was that young.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's scary. Three-time NASCAR Cup Series champion Cale Yarborough has also passed away. He was 84 years old. He won 3 Cup Series titles in consecutive years from 1978 to 81. In addition to the championships, he won 83 Cup Series races, including 4 Daytona 500s and 5 Southern 500s.
Those guys.
Didn't he drive the Hardee's car, too?
Yes.
I used to have a little electric or a little slot car track with the Hardee's car.
Those guys passed away because they quit racing.
Is that what it is?
That's it.
Oh, there you go. Don't quit racing.
That's it. Not me.
Let's do our how many, and then we'll do our big announcement here.
Okay.
Because we got to spin the Big D's pizza wheel for that. So not last week's, 2 weeks ago, how many cars would be at the 2024 Sandusky Speedway Hangover Race entered in each class?
Total entries.
Total entries. That number, as we mentioned earlier in the show, was 34. So we had a tie as to who was close. Well, first up for us, I picked 32. I was pessimistic, and I was too low. But you picked 35.
So I win.
So, yeah, you were closer. It was close, though. And John Young, who was in the studio last week, he picked 48. He was way too optimistic. So you'll get to pick first for this week's
but I don't get a pizza.
No.
Oh.
No. And not unless you go to Big D's, or next time John goes, tell him you want a pizza. He'll pick you up one, I'm sure. Let's spin the Big D's pizza wheel for our winner of Big D's Pizza. We have, again, as I mentioned, a tie. Chris Schindler had 35. Lux Bailey had 33. So they just went on either side of that. So
good number, Chris.
A little brown nosing there. So let's spin to see who this week's winner is of the Big D's Pizza. It's going to be Lux Bailey.
Congratulations there.
Congratulations, Lux Bailey. You're the winner of the Big D's Pizza. Get with Dean Henry or myself. We'll get you in touch with Dean to be able to redeem your pizza, courtesy of
30 days, right?
Big D's Pizza, yeah. 30 days to redeem that pizza. After that, it expires. This week's how many? There wasn't much racing going on, or at least
right.
that I can verify things, so I had to come up with something here. How many Hammer Down Hotline calls or texts will we have before next week's show?
Ooh.
Here's a hint. We haven't had many recently.
Yeah, I knew that.
None this week. Speaking of the Hammer Down Hotline, if you want to call, text, leave a message, something you want us to talk about, there's the number, but it's covered up. Hold on. Let me 419-318-3081, 419-318-3081. Call, text anytime, day or night. And, so how many messages will we have, calls, texts, whatever, by next week?
No, that's not fair, Scott.
Why? Why is that not fair? Yes, it could be manipulated.
Yes, it could, very easily.
And I'm going to say that, I should say by 4 o'clock on Thursday,
Yeah,
That's
okay.
how many calls or texts will we have by then? Because after 4 o'clock, usually I'm too busy to check it again. So
Okay.
we'll say until 4 o'clock, and we'll allow the guesses to go until 4 o'clock on Thursday. So if you're listening to us on Spotify or whatever, you can still get in on the guess.
People are going to guess. I'm going with 4.
Switch back. You think we're going to have that? Wow, 50? Somebody's just going to call. Dusty's just going to keep calling and see, that can be manipulated. I have no idea what we're going to have. Dean Henry says 1. That might be optimistic there. Oh, yeah, look at that. Nobody said what I'm probably going to pick, but go ahead. What number are you going with?
I said 4.
Did you say 4? Okay.
I said 4. I'm hoping you were going to go 4.
I'm going to go 3.
Okay.
Going with 3. So we'll find out. All you got to do is put a number
listeners,
in the comments of the
Here
Facebook
we go.
Live
Now,
or the
we
YouTube
know
Live.
that Scott went one
you
under me.
can only guess once.
Scott
you
went
cannot
one
change
under
your
me.
guess.
So please, 419-318-3081.
And you cannot change your guess once you put it in. You are locked in. If you do,
give
you'll
us
get
a
the black
call.
flag.
Let's bury Scott.
Yeah, whatever. You don't win anything. We don't win anything. Just the listeners do.
But they could.
They could. So, yeah. Again, you have until Thursday, 4 o'clock to get your guess in. That's this coming Thursday at 4 o'clock Eastern, which would be...
Let's see now. That is...
Yeah, you figure that out. How about we do our big announcement that we've been...
Yeah, okay.
Delaying on, and let's bring in our guest that's going to help with this big announcement, because this was his idea, and we just kind of were like, yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, let's run with this.
There he is. It's Chris Mize again. Race director at Sandusky Speedway. I guess you could probably figure out where the event's going to be now.
First off, I want to thank everybody out there for the Hangover Race. That was pretty cold. So everybody understood. We didn't take an intermission because our fans were freezing. So I decided to skip through the intermission and move forward so we get the people out of there. You know,
I saw
run.
I saw the girls had some coffee left. So
yeah, we had some stuff left, and you know, we had food left, and I wasn't really worried about that. Normally, you know, you want to sell hot dogs, but you also don't want to upset people for dragging it out when, you know, that, so you guys are talking, that north wind was blowing and temperature, it was kind of chilly, you know, but I want to thank everybody for supporting that show. It was a pretty successful show, great racing. I'll say it again, the best racing I've seen in a long time, and I've seen a lot of hangovers, was you and Lonnie, Scott, side by side, you know, and that was great. You really didn't know who was going to win, and we had great racing in the whiskey stocks. Melvin, I looked down at turn 3, and all I seen was the underside of his car. Whole underside, and I thought, oh man, this ain't going to end well. And they ended up, you know, okay, and other than that, it was, you know, just good racing. We didn't have many cautions, and anytime you get through a show like that without many cautions, I mean, as you guys know, you raced, and I warned you in the drivers' meeting, we had a couple bleeders over in 3 and 4 that were going to be a little slick, but appreciate all the people that come out.
Not too bad. Now, you got this big announcement. I'll just turn it over to you. I got the notes here, but
we were discussing a couple years back, the late model deal. Ron, what was it, 2019? We're looking at running a UMP deal, late models.
Right.
You know, well, I don't know. We were all talking the other day. Last week, I think it was actually a week or two ago, and come up with this deal October 26th at Sandusky Speedway. We're going to end up having a CRS Truck Series come in, Billy Straley and them. But what we put together with the help of Scott, Ron, and Corey in the conversation, we're going to have Fremont dirt trucks versus the Oakshade
Super Stocks.
Okay, the Oakshade Super Stocks, along with any asphalt street stocks that want to run. Now the rules are going to be allowed a single carburetor 4-barrel any 8-inch groove tire. Now that don't mean you can take a slick. And I explained this in that meeting. Can't take a slick and groove it. It's got to be an 8-inch groove tire, 8-inch dirt tire, whatever tire you want to run. There's no real tire rule on that.
So an old Comanche could run, or
Comanche, Hoosier 800, 970, American Racer 970.
just no Hoosier F70s.
McCreary?
As long as it's not a slick.
McCreary?
Oh,
Yeah.
That's what
yeah,
I ran.
Yeah.
yeah. No
Those are old enough to
F70s.
vote.
You can't take an F70 and go out and groove it. You know, I was already asked about that, believe it or not. But no, I'm not letting you do that.
Now, does this open is the Ohio Wheelman Series?
Yes.
That's-
Ohio Wheelman Series street stocks can run. Anybody that's got a street stock from any of the other tracks can run in this.
So Lonnie York could come back and run this. Too.
Lonnie can run with 4-barrel.
Right.
You know, I mean, we're opening up to a 4-barrel, and along with the Midwest Dirt Compact Series is going to be there, along with the All-American Series, All-American Iron Series. You know, I think, you know, we'll announce payoff. We got a payoff, but you know, as we were talking before the show, we'll put that up later. I'm working on a couple sponsors right now to get that payoff for you guys. I think that this is going to be another event that it's going to be, you know, pretty big event. I mean, you get, there's a lot of bragging going on, and I'm not trying to, I think they call it Showdown event with you guys.
Yes.
Corey McCoy's Showdown Series. Yeah, this is not a Showdown Series event, but it's like that.
It's not a Showdown Series event. I don't want to even try to add that word to it. What it is something we'll look at doing once a year, where a King of the Hill kind of, and what we're going to call it is, I forgot the name. Nightmare
Clash in Sandusky.
Nightmare Clash in Dusky.
In Dusky, yeah.
Yes, and yeah, I mean, because it's close to Halloween, and it's almost like King of the Hill bragging rights type. You know, you hear the Fremont trucks and the Oakshade Super Stocks badgering each other all year over the Showdown, and then you hear, you know, them guys will start badgering some of the street stocks, you know, come run dirt and you're afraid of us and all that. Well, we're going to see who the King of the Hill is, who's, you know, where the bear supposedly goes in the woods, you know.
Arnold Kirsch has 2 questions. Wait, there will be no scales, correct?
No scales. I don't care.
Sideboards, there will be no sideboards. It's stock race trim, whatever.
Yeah, whatever
your track calls for.
Whatever you run at the Showdown, you know, is pretty much the rules. And as far as the street stock goes, they got to follow the asphalt rules. They can't, you know, come out there. They got to follow the same rules they follow all year. You know, the only difference will be they'll be allowed a single 4-barrel instead of the 2-barrel that they're restricted to run. And I think that's fair. You know, Fremont trucks are running 4-barrel. You guys are running, so. I mean,
and it will be cast iron block and heads, same as
the regular rules. The only thing that's different, the regular
Yeah.
rules that, you know, Fremont runs, the regular rules the Oakshade Super Stocks run.
Right.
Other than what Chris had said about the carburetor's the same for
teching carburetors would be a nightmare.
Super Stocks, but other than the tire rule, I mean, really for the Oakshade Super Stocks, there is no difference. It's just the regular rules. The 4-barrel carburetor would be the only difference for the Fremont trucks, and I don't know what the difference is then for the asphalt street stocks. Not well versed in all that.
Well, they're under cast iron. I mean, they're steel. You know, you don't have an aluminum on them. The rule package of Ohio Wheelman is what will follow with that. If you're legal to Ohio Wheelman, you go in and run, and you know, it's a fun event. It's kind of funny. You guys know this more than anybody, because would that take place in what, an hour and a half?
Yeah,
we come up with this back and forth in a group chat,
yeah.
and you know, I got the okay from Kevin, of course, you know, and I think when we moved it out to October 26th, we felt that we needed to come out and announce this week because a lot of guys,
tear down their cars after
right,
the season.
First, second week of October, they're a lot of guys get the cars in the garage, start tearing them down, and we want to get it out there. We're looking for some sponsorship. We got a set purse, that Corey sent over what they're running at the showdown, and we'll go with that purse. And I want to thank Drew Jack. I called him up. Unfortunately, the Mini Truck Series had an offer, and they turned it down, and respectfully so, But I want to thank Drew. I see he's up there. I can't read the compact.
Midwest Dirt Compacts will be a DOT tire.
Okay.
All cars are welcome, no race tires.
Right. And I called Drew up as soon as I got, the no from, I say, hey, Drew, I said, I'm doing this race on October 26th. I went to Midwest Dirt Compacts Company. So, okay. So I want to thank him. And, of course, Larry Justice with the All-American Iron Series, all four divisions. I called Billy Straley up, so I got an idea. And this all happened in an hour and a half, wasn't it? Wouldn't you guys say it was?
Yeah, yes.
A few messages, and they're like,
yeah,
I'm going to call you, a group call.
Yeah, I got an idea, when I'm sitting there, ideas. And Billy right away says, yeah, we'll do it. And so we moved forward within 2 hours, this was done. And I talked to a lot of the guys that would be involved on Monday. And a lot of guys looked excited about having us, and it's kind of bragging rights. You're going to make some decent money and everything. We're not, it's not like you're running for a hangover purse. It's going to be a good purse, but it's bragging rights. We hear this badgering back and forth between you guys, Fremont Trucks and Super Stocks, and then, come into the asphalt a little bit. Well, you guys scared to run against us, and so now we're going to see who the king of the hill is, and
Chad Ingram wants to know pure stocks, Toledo factory stocks. I'm going to assume that's a yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any cars, any cars welcome as long as they fit under that, the pure stocks are more than welcome. They way fit under that roll package. And John Young's question,
absolutely.
As long as it's an 8-inch.
I'm familiar with the tire he's talking about, and the answer is yes.
Yeah, and I don't want to come out with the tire roll because here's why. The minute you come out, right now, I'll be dead honest with you. I'm dead set against tire companies as it is right now. I don't understand. And 20, I get it. Pandemic, tire costs went up. 21, well, we had a work shortage of people. Tire costs go up. 22, you don't have an explanation, but tire costs went up. Last year, tire costs went up. We still don't have an explanation. And now in 24, they're going up again. So, we still don't have explanations, but they are. So in order to tell somebody, well, you can only run a Hoosier Comanche, you're not going to get the cars.
Right.
Or you can only run this. You guys don't have asphalt tires. The asphalt guys that might want to come over don't have dirt tires. So I don't care what tire you run. As long as it's an 8-inch tire grooved, you can't take an F70 slick and groove it. That's the only rule I got on tires.
And the weather in the end of October is going to be cool enough. It won't be bitter cold, but the dirt tires will be just fine.
It did snow this past Halloween. I just want to point that out.
Well, that's
26. That's 2 days after the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 26. It's a few days after. We'll be all right. 26 this year. We had a race. We had trick or treat, and hell, it was nice out. So
yeah.
I know you're getting into that time of year in Ohio. It could be just like Hangover. It could be 60, 70 degrees, or it could be 35. But I think it was a great idea. It's one of them deals where sometimes I'm my worst enemy. If I start thinking of stuff, and I reverted back to what we were coming up with 4 or 5 years ago, and I thought it'd be a cool idea because I know that showdown, would they have 50, 60 cars?
Yeah. At Oakshade, I think we had in the 70s. So
it was it,
yeah.
and I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, this would be cool as hell.
And this is going to pay pretty decent. So, I mean, you're not announcing the per, but if sponsors want to get in on this, how can they, who do they need to contact?
Contact me through my Facebook page or Sandusky Speedway through the Facebook page. And I receive a lot of them private messages through the track anyways, through the Facebook page. So, we're looking for sponsors for that. Like I say, it shouldn't interfere with, and we had to move it out that far because there's a lot of asphalt tracks around their cavalcades, and they book rain dates, like, our cavalcade's 5th and 6th. They book rain dates after that or whatever. So it doesn't interfere with any dirt tracks. We checked on that. I talked to Pam, and Fremont's got the dates that I was looking at in September. It just didn't coincide. So we got it out far enough away from everybody. It shouldn't interfere with anybody, that all tracks are pretty much done racing at that time.
Now, will there be a rain date for this?
Hangover.
Does the pay transfer to that then too?
I hate to say it. Probably not going to be a rain date because once you get that late in the month and going into November, it's.
Even like a Sunday, maybe, because this will be a Saturday.
No, I tell you what, I'll be honest with you. I shouldn't even say this on a live, but you get wiped on Sundays.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Sundays just, it's, I don't know how dirt tracks are. I'm sure if you're running the All-Stars, that's one thing, or the Outlaws, but, to run a show like this and try to move it to a Sunday, you get killed. And it's, we don't care if we, I'm getting a look. I forgot. That's probably our trick or treat.
Yeah, it probably is.
But we don't care if we break even, make a little money. We just don't want to lose money, and But I honestly believe moving forward, this is going to be a huge event. I really do. You got the crossover, and you guys are talking.
You could encourage kids to come out in costume and do a trick-or-treat thing at the track.
Well, that's what I'll probably end up doing.
Just throwing that out.
That was,
Chris, something that
she walked back inside. Yeah.
Chris, something that the Showdown Series did, they welcomed sponsors for all kinds of bizarre things, 9th place finish.
Australian Pursuit Race, Challenge Race.
$100 for, 7th place. And, so the sponsors can, it doesn't have to go straight into the purse. I'm sure that it would be fine with you. They could pick what they wanted to sponsor.
We've done that through the years with different things where, listen, if you want to give $50, I'll put it wherever the hell you want it.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that was pretty cool that happened for a few years was we had people giving $50 for the last place running car at the end of the race. The last car to come across the finish line, got the checkered, he'd get $50 and you walk up to the guy, he didn't know it, and you'd hand him 50. What's that? I said, well, this is what a sponsor wanted. I see Will, he's got takeoffs, he'll sell for $100 a set with the Comanches, and by the end of the year, a lot of them guys will have, if you want to run an asphalt tire, the Comanches, that's up to you.
Watch the weather forecast.
Huh?
I say just watch the weather forecast.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to, if this isn't going to be in any weather event, though, like the Hangover Race.
No, you can't. I mean, it's, you can't do that. The Hangover was a different animal. You run it regardless. Something like this with that kind of money on the line, you can't have a monsoon in that and expect, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And you need a crowd and everything. I mean, let's face it. We ran during the pandemic. We ran, I don't know, what was it, 5-6 races without fans, just racing. And you drivers, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but drivers got egos. And
come on now.
With egos, the fans. You can run in front of 10 fans, and if you run in front of 500,000 fans, it makes a lot better for the drivers, and they'll want to come back. And I think the crossover, I'm not sure if this has been done before, something like this on asphalt. I don't know. I don't want to say we're the first because I don't know. But I think the crossover from the dirt fans coming over, the asphalt fans, I think it can be a huge success and a huge event. And I know Corey and you guys have pushed for this before. And like I say, I was sitting in my truck thinking, and man, messaging you guys. We're texting group message about the live for the Hangover, that we were going on a couple weeks ago, and I just sitting there and I'm thinking, well, what about this? What if we do this? How about? And within an hour and a half, I made 3-4 phone calls, and boom, here we are, announcing it on your show.
And looking forward to. And to be fair, the Showdown series, they had to reschedule the final event or the last part of it, and it was on, strangely enough, October 26th this past year, and it was like 65, 70 degrees. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, and there was a decent crowd there. So, and that was a Tuesday, as I recall. So, if we get some decent weather, this could be pretty huge.
Well, that's the thing, and you never know. I mean, hell, in September, the end of September, you don't know what the weather's going to be in northern Ohio, and so like you say, it could be the end of October during this race. It historically through the years, it's been nice, so I think it's a good date, and it's away from everybody, like I said, and I want to thank Larry Justice and the All-American guys. I'm sure they'll show up. Their division's going to be very strong this year, and around this area, I know this hasn't been done. I've been around this area for a long time, and so it's something that I'd like to try, and Kevin would like to try, and so.
We did something similar like 5 years ago, where you had the Fremont dirt trucks and the super stocks, but it was just the dirt guys on the asphalt. We didn't have, we weren't against the asphalt street stocks. And I know Corey at the time was like,
you weren't against the asphalt.
Yeah. Corey was like, I think we're just as fast as those street stocks. We should be up against them. And I think it's finally, he's getting his wish now.
That was a cavalcade.
Yeah, that was at a cavalcade. That's right.
I'll never forget that, because it was misting and the track was getting, and I yelled out the window, Corey and all them guys say, "You guys want to go out and run?" Hell yeah, we'll run. And
that's it.
Aren't you afraid to go? Some guys are used to running sideways. They'll be all right, But it's. So we're gonna see, the saying goes, where the bear goes in the woods. We're gonna see where the bear is, and we got all year to promote it, and I think this will be a nice event and a good time. I mean,
absolutely.
Just a good side note. I was listening to the weather this morning, and they're predicting that
for October,
that the El Nino effect is going to prevail all through 24. So the warm temperatures that we're technically having now should last the entire year.
I'm good with that.
I'm good with it.
Yeah. Oh, Ron, it wasn't too warm Monday.
Hey, it's been a whole lot colder, Chris.
Oh yeah.
And a whole lot wetter.
Just to recap here for those that may be just joining us, the Nightmare Clash in Dusky, as in Sandusky, October 26, 2024. It'll be at Sandusky Speedway, featuring the CRS trucks, the Midwest Dirt Compact Touring Series, and the All-American Iron Series, along with a class made up of the Fremont Dirt Trucks, the Oakshade Raceway Super Stocks, versus the Asphalt Street Stocks, which includes Wheelman Series, Pure Stocks, the Factory Stocks from Toledo, the Street Stocks from Flat Rock, with the four-barrel carburetor, single 4-barrel carburetor, and 8-inch groove or dirt tires.
Chris, I'm sure this is going to come up. Can some of your guys double enter like the All-American Iron?
I don't think they would run with.
No, I'm not. You know what?
I just wanted to throw that out there because it will come up.
I probably won't allow that because with you guys running 4 barrels and
yes,
you're bringing a knife to a gunfight, and as everybody's seen,
Or like a toothpick.
Yeah, the closing speed, as you guys were talking about earlier in the show, and I don't want to say nothing against the All-American because they've been great supporters of Sandusky, but the speeds are going to be way different, and we don't need a disaster on their part or any other guy's part. So they got their own division that they're running. If we weren't running them, I might consider it different, but they got their own division that night. So
I was just throwing that one out there.
Yeah, no double entries.
Pit gates scheduled to open at 2 p.m. Hot laps of 4, racing at 7. I'm guessing that's where we're at right now with it. That may change.
That's rough summary.
Summary,
I'll get the gate prices. Pit pass would be $30 like normal.
Right.
For that show, but I'll get the gate prices out. We're going to try to make it affordable as we can we understand, money crunches everywhere, and we run a lot of dollar nights. That won't be a dollar night, of course, but we're not going to gouge the fans either, and so we'll set a front gate price on that, and like guys, I promote tailgating. So, you show up whenever you want in the parking lot and, I have a party, just don't drink and drive, because they will get you around here. So that's
cool.
all.
Well, Chris, we appreciate you coming on with that announcement. And again, if you're interested in sponsoring this event, get a hold of Chris or Sandusky Speedway through Facebook. Or however, contact Ron or I, and we'll get you in contact with them and make it a big event.
A huge event.
One last thing. I want to thank all our veterans out there. Military serves overseas in the homeland. All our first responders, police, fire, EMS, and tow truck drivers.
Thanks for that, Chris.
I almost forgot, and I never forget.
I was wondering about that.
Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate everything you do.
Absolutely. We appreciate
I
you,
appreciate everything.
All right. We'll see you. There you go. Chris Mize, the race director at Sandusky Speedway. When his mind starts going, cool things happen sometimes.
Oh, boy. Here we go again.
So, again, it's the Nightmare Clash in Dusky. That's the working title as of now. That may change. What won't change are the classes, the CRS trucks, the All-American Iron Series, a couple of regular asphalt classes.
Right.
And then you're going to have the Midwest Dirt Compact Touring Series on the asphalt, DOT tires, and then a class made up of the Fremont Dirt Trucks, the Oakshade Super Stocks, and Asphalt Street Stocks. So it's kind of like 3 different clans battling there. You got Fremont versus Oakshade versus Asphalt.
Yep.
So, yeah, that'll be interesting.
Any 8-inch treaded tire.
Yes.
And
groove
they
tire.
won't be measuring. It'll have to say like a Hoosier 27 5x8.
So, again, that's October 26th at Sandusky Speedway. Looking for sponsors for that. Contact Chris. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. And I thought it was a good idea when Corey was talking about that years ago, too. He was like, we need to go up against those guys. They're just as fast, or we're just as fast. I don't know. So there's your big racing announcement. Just a couple things left here to finish off the show. Don't forget, we're going to be giving away the Hammer Down Racing Report Special Edition sticker courtesy of DCR Graphics. Hashtag DCR in the comments. We'll do that in probably about 3 minutes or less.
I delivered one of those to the Hangover Race.
Did you?
One of our winners,
Awesome.
yes.
Excellent. So, that's all you got to do. Hashtag DCR. If you already did that, you're already in the running. What kind of lap times do they run at Sandusky? I don't even remember because that was like 5 years. I know that Corey said they were within like tenths of a second of each other.
Right.
And that was just a couple of them. So, some racing action this weekend. Let's check out our Big D's Pizza racing menu.
This weekend's Big D's Pizza racing menu.
Vado Raceway Park, let's try that again. The Rio Grande Waste Services Wild West Shootout, featuring late models, modifieds, and X mods, will be starting on Saturday. That's January 6th. They'll be racing the 6th, the 7th, off for a couple days, then back the 10th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. Yeah, that's the Wild West shootout out there. $300,000 to win if you can win all nights out there. Chili Bowl Nationals also shaping up. You said practice day is Sunday?
Right.
I believe racing then is Monday through Saturday. That's January 8th through the 13th at the SageNet Expo Center in Tulsa.
Flow Racing
will have
those?
that. Yes, I do believe. According to a producer Dave, who is a flow racing expert aficionado.
Yeah.
Albany Speedway. Round 2 of Production Sedan West Coast Showdown featuring late models and Production 5000. That'll be on Saturday. That's down under, I do believe.
Yep. West coast of Australia.
Western Australia. Also in Australia, Bunbury Speedway. Round 5 of the Western Australia versus USA Speed Week featuring sprint cars, limited sprint cars, and supermods. That also taking place on Saturday, January 6th, which will be tomorrow here if you're in the U.S. because they are.
Yeah, they're 12 hours ahead.
Yeah, because right now it's Friday morning there.
Yes, it is.
So at this time it'll be Saturday morning. Yeah, I don't know, that math hurts my head. Let's draw our winner for our
hashtag DCR.
Yeah, for our window sticker. This week's winner, special edition sticker here, courtesy of DCR. Oh, we're up to 19 entries. So let's.
Well, that escalated nicely.
Yeah. People like free stuff. It's crazy. I don't know why. So, all right. There we go. I think we're on there.
It's kind of like racers. They just like winning.
Yes. And they'll try and bend the rules as best they can. So here we go. For this week's Hammer Down Racing Report DCR Graphics sticker. Yes. Fa.
Yep, Fa.
Yeah, we're going to go with Fa.
Fa won this one.
Yes. Yeah, not putting the HQ. Because if you put that all together, what does that sound like? Yeah, don't
Have a good day.
Yeah. So, yes. Yes, you'll have to get a hold of Ron Miller, pick up your sticker within 30 days from Ron Miller Race Cars. Congratulations.
After 30 days, I sell it for $5.
Do you really?
No. But there was one that nobody picked up, and it was on the 95 car.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
Oh, well, you finished second. There you go. That's going to do it for this edition of the Hammer Down Racing Report. Thanks to Dave Kimmer and all the work he does. He puts a lot of the info together. He's been doing a lot of the Australian heavy lifting for me, getting all that information. And contributors John Young, Bob Stazak. Make sure to like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report. I'm sorry. Follow us on X. I haven't updated that yet. Follow us on YouTube as well. You can always listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Megaphone. That's our originating platform now that we are on with Evergreen Podcast Network. Check us out at hammerdownracingreport.com. You can listen to us there. Make sure to rate and review us if you have some time. Share us with your friends. That will help us out, too.
Make sure you give us a call on our hotline this week, 419.
Only 3 calls. I only want 3 calls.
419-318-3081.
There you go. And make sure to support our sponsors, DCR Graphics, Dominator Race Products, Oakshade Raceway, Ron Miller Race Cars, and Freeze Frame Photos. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor, get a hold of us. Thanks to our guests this week, Brad Eitniear and Lonnie York, and Chris Mize as well.
Yeah.
With the big announcement. Again, if you just tuning in, you missed the big announcement. It's Nightmare Clash in Dusky, October 26th at Sandusky Speedway, CRS Trucks, All-American Iron Series, Midwest Dirt Compact Touring Series, and then the Fremont Trucks versus Oakshade Superstocks versus Asphalt Street
versus
Stocks.
The world.
Yes. All on the asphalt at Sandusky. Again, Saturday, October 26th. So next week on the show, as I mentioned earlier, Sam Driggers, Dirt Car UMP official, the head of the American Late Model Series, which has kind of joined forces with another
resurrected.
Yeah, it's being resurrected. We're going to talk to Sam about that and what's going on. It sounds like it's going to be 2 divisions of the LMS this year.
Kind of a north and south. East and west.
East-west, something like that. Yeah. So we'll get all the details next week, Thursday, 7 p.m. right here on the Hammer Down Racing Report.
Sam Driggers. This will be a good one. Don't miss it.
He's fun to talk to. I've only talked to him at the track in person, so I don't know if he'll be as open and forthcoming.
I'm sure he will.
Okay. Unfiltered. That was the word I was looking for. If he'll be as unfiltered in
There's only
on
one
the show.
Sam.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it then.
That's what you're going to get.
All right. Next week on the show, Sam Driggers. We'll see you then. Have a good night.
Thanks for listening, folks.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.